Good morning. Jane, it's Monday again.
It's Monday again.
Where's it come from?
It's the end of the month and I'm like, what happened to July?
I don't know. It's August tomorrow.
Melted away in a puddle of rain, I think.
Yeah, I know. It's not funny, is it? It's your fault. Jane told me, because it rained on St Swithin today, that it was going to rain for 40 days. She's not been wrong so far.
It's rained at least once every day.
I told my mum this morning. She went, oh, she's right, you know. I said, oh, come on. Enough with the rain. I don't want it.
Had enough of it now.
Yeah, we have actually. Thank you very much. Too much rain. I mean, some of you love the rain and that's great. But come on, you've had your fair share. I'd like a bit of sunshine back.
We'd like the sun back, please.
Yeah. Mind you, my garden's looking fabulous. It's had all the watering in all the world, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So hopefully now everything can start to bloom and then we can have a sunny August where it just looks fabulous and I can sit out in it.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Fingers crossed.
Garden centre the other morning. Jane and I picked up some new plants.
Oh.
Don't need any. But just was like, pop a few more in. Nice.
The plant rescue centre, as some people call it.
I know. Well, we've got this really lovely nursery near us. I mentioned to my stepdaughter, I was like, come on, let's go up to this local nursery. And she went, nursery? And I was like, oh, plant nursery. Not picking any small children up. No, we're all right. Let's see if people can see and hear us, Jane. Oh, we do have Martin with us who says morning and Jane Gray as well. So it must be working.
That's good. Good morning, everybody.
And hopefully our YouTubers can see and hear us as well. I've got a hair somewhere here, Jane. I'll just keep doing this thing.
Because you can feel it
across your face. Sorry, everybody. I look like I'm picking at myself, and I am really.
I can't see anything.
When we go into overhead, I'm having a right old rifle to see if I can find out where this hair is, but it's tickling me here and here. And so when you're blonde, it's not helpful as well, is it? Little fine bits of hair hiding. Who else have we got this morning? Oh, Ginny Mackie says a very good morning to everyone and happy birthday to Jimmy. Oh, well, happy birthday, Jimmy. Happy birthday to you. Jane Vivash says, morning all from a very wet Berkshire. And Ginny Twin's here too. That confused everybody when Ginny Twin came along. I thought that was just Ginny with a second account, but it's not. It's another Ginny.
Oh.
I know. Hopefully our YouTubers can see and hear us as well, because I can't see any chat from you at the moment. Oh, no, I can. Cynthia says, greetings. We're also expecting rain. That's in that there Ohio. It is. And Deborah says, good evening as well. So she must be somewhere else in the world too. Because we are
lovely.
Here in the UK. Natasha makes. 10 a.m. it is here.
Yes.
So if it's an evening where you are, then good evening to you. It's nice to see you. All fun for you to see us and communicate with us in these here messages. It's always good to know you're there. Oh yes, lovely Jimmy. Have a nice birthday, Jimmy. Everyone's wishing Jimmy a happy birthday. That's lovely.
Well, I expect he's like at the end of his birthday, are you, Jimmy?
Yeah, because it's the evening where you are, isn't it?
Yeah. You'll be full of birthday cake by now, I expect.
It gets very confusing when we're as international as we've got.
It's lovely.
We're in the middle of the UK, just chatting. Yeah. Chatting and sewing a bit, and it's very confusing to us that you all watch us from all across the world. It's very nice. Thank you very much. We've got Sue here saying morning all, and Lizzie saying morning. I'm fed up with the rain in Hampshire too. You and me both, Lizzie. However, eventful few days I've had.
Have you?
Went to go ape.
Oh no.
Now, for anyone who doesn't know, I have fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis. I've got arthritis up in my neck. I get really giddy and everything. But my daughter was supposed to be going with somebody else, and then they weren't going. And so I was like, it's fine, I'm coming. Because you just do it, don't you?
Yes.
You do this thing.
Yes.
So I went to go ape. Now, I thought I might have a small problem with heights, which then transpired to be a not small problem with heights, but a massive problem with wobbliness. I mean, I generally have a problem with wobbliness.
Yes,
but
we're in the wobble club, but we don't care.
We are in the wobble club. But I'm not good if it's an unsturdy floor.
No, a rope bridge doesn't do you any good at all, no.
And these aren't just rope bridges, some of them. They're like literally a wire you're walking along, and you're sort of hanging onto a bit of rope that's hanging here and there, and you're like... She was laughing though. It was funny.
You have a harness though, don't you?
Yeah. But the problem I had was I'd said to them, if I fall off the wire and I'm dangling there by the harness, I'm not bothered by that, by the way.
No.
Not at all. How do I get back up onto the wire again? And they said, well, you just pull yourself up. And I said, no, I have no strength to pull myself up. I have fibro, I can't do that. And they were like, oh, you'll manage.
Not, we'll come and get you.
So luckily enough, I didn't fall off. If I had, I'd been dangling there going, No, someone needs to get me back onto this wire now.
You'll still be there now going, help me.
I would. I'd be slimmer and less wobbly. So that was good fun. And I did the zip wires. And then at this point, my nerve endings are all doing this.
Yes.
My legs and arms have gone. And I'm like, Meg, I think I need to sit down now. And she went, Mum, I'm amazed you did any of it. I thought
Wonderful.
You'd do none. So you
fun.
sit there and watch me do the rest.
Yeah.
But it was a good fun day. It was. Well, a couple of hours. But yeah, it was great.
Lovely.
And then I've been getting some plants and doing some decorating. Jane, what have you been up to this weekend?
I haven't done very much really. I've done a lot of like tidying things that, I'm
Nice.
terrible for just putting things down and leaving them. So I've done a lot of, that needs to go back where it belongs type of tidying, which is quite good for you.
It is.
Gives you good, clear headspace.
I've got a date with my kitchen table tonight.
Cleaned under my sink cupboard.
That's terrible when you pull that out because you're like, gosh, these things are older than my children. How
Yes.
have they ever ended up under my sink?
I was really ruthless. I was like, I've never used that since I
No.
bought it. It's
Yeah.
going in the bin.
And also sometimes you get stuff out, don't you, and you go, oh, it's so out of date.
Yeah. I got
So
shoe polish.
Oh, yeah?
When you rattled the tin, it was like
Oh.
hard. So I thought, well, there's no point in keeping that.
Isn't it awful?
I mean,
We
people
just hang
don't
it
polish
up
their
those
shoes
things.
anymore, do they? They're from when the boys were at school. We used to polish their shoes on a Sunday night.
There'll be people watching now going, well, I polish my shoes diligently. Well, we don't, Jane, do we?
No,
we
I
have like
like
fabric-covered
fabric
shoes and
shoes.
things anyway. So
Josh
you don't
polishes
polish
his because he wears Doc Martens and he polishes his.
Oh,
But
nice. Oh, no, you see, Meg wears
don't.
Doc Martens, but they look like they've been through the mill. They're terrible. Oh, look, Joy Hall says, happy birthday, Jimmy. It's my birthday too. Happy birthday to you too, Joy. Lovely to have you with us as well. And Julia's with us too. There's all sorts of people. Oh, and Lowe's around.
hi there.
Crikey Bobs.
Oh,
We're
I
in
love
trouble if
your
Lowe's around.
necklace that you've designed. That's
Tape measure with a
beautiful.
heart.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Lowe is O&P Silver. She does the most beautiful jewellery. Do go along and have a look. Just not right now because we're doing the show, but have a look later.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one
On
with
her
the owl.
on her Facebook and Instagram, because I don't think they have a website. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lo, but I'm pretty sure you said you don't have a
You can always
website.
send her a PM. She'll do a commission for you as well. So if you want to get a beautiful piece for a friend or family, or she'll make you something. She's a very clever lady. So yeah, there you go, Lo. Free plug. You can pay me later. Janet says morning as well. Claire Everett says morning all. Be in and out. I'm taxiing my mum about this morning. There we go. We know that feeling, don't we?
We do.
Running rallies around. It's all fine. We don't mind. Alexandra says good morning. Debbie Stevens says hello to you both. I've just been to the dentist and can only blink with one eye.
Oh no. That
I think
sounds
that's called
painful.
winking.
Mm.
Just don't get winking at anyone you shouldn't there, Debbie.
Yes.
That could
Get in
you
trouble.
into trouble, for sure. Oh, Karen says, morning one and all. Please, 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 can we have some fine weather for Sunday? I'm off to a VW rally to sell my wares, fingers crossed. I hope so. It's Festival of Quilts this weekend, though, Jane.
Yes, it is.
It is. So, are you going? That's what we want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may well go. We'll be there a bit. I think Tasha's going Saturday morning. If anyone's a Tash spotter and they want to spot her, she'll do this thing, though, where she goes in, goes round and is out, and then probably off to Create and Craft. She's a busy bee.
Yes.
But yeah, if you're an early bird on Saturday, you might spot that there, Natasha. She is, of course, a veritable giant, so it's very difficult to miss her.
Yes. She's head and shoulders above everybody.
Yes.
Literally.
Yeah, absolutely. But we may well be around. Oh, she's here, look. She put otherwise known as a wink. Yes, exactly. Oh, and she also agrees that Lowe's new make is stunning. Natasha, she's gabbing away here. Have you not got some actual work to do, pet? I'm sure there's sewing to be done. Because tomorrow's show is Natasha's show and she's making a fabulous purse. Just saying.
Something lovely as always.
Today's make, however, Jane,
It's
is
Christmas.
festive, and it's a beautiful, beautiful tree skirt. Now we have this sample here.
Yes.
We didn't whip this one up in 3 minutes.
No.
This isn't our sample.
No, this has
Belongs to
come
Macawa.
from beautiful Macawa. They very kindly lent it to us. We have twiddled with the fabric selection slightly.
Yeah. We
Kept it
think
very similar, but
improved it a little
yes.
because we've added some little robins in. So a lot of the fabrics are the same, but towards the middle there's some little adjustments, which is going to look beautiful. But you're making your sample in our colourway so
Yeah,
people can
you'll
see what
see
it
the
looks
diff-
like as a finished item.
It doesn't look very different from a distance, so you'll be okay.
No. Not at all. It looks great. And the thing with a tree skirt as well is it just dresses the lounge, doesn't it? So you
Yes.
have all your presents around the tree, but once they're gone, it doesn't look quite so sad.
Yes,
There's nothing
it's just
sadder than when all the presents are gone. You can just see the
The
frame
front,
or
yeah.
the pot. So
yeah.
this,
And
It
if you
looks
like to have your tree up quite a bit beforehand, it's nice to have it before all the presents start arriving.
exactly, before he brings them.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Or if you've got a round table, you could make it without making the split in it, and
You could,
then you've got a lovely round table cover.
or you could make it without the split and the hole in it as a lovely big mat to lay baby on / have children loll around on.
Yeah,
It'd be gorgeous, wouldn't it?
it would. Yes.
Well, there's lots of options, Jane. And the fabric bundle itself is beautiful. We'll look through that. But what we've done as well,
Yes.
because we could, is we've put some half-metre heavens for you today. Now, our half-metre heavens are super popular. They're normally every Thursday, so we show them on a Wednesday show,
Yeah.
don't we? Ready for Thursday. You get a half-metre of designer fabric and a half-metre of plain at an absolutely cracking price of $9.99. Which is a bit bonkers when you consider the designer's $7.95 on its own.
Yes.
And we've done that with these few Christmas fabrics. Strictly speaking, they came in, and they're supposed to be for other shows of Natasha's, but
We just nicked them.
we have, yeah.
Don't tell
Yeah.
her.
Oh, she's watching. So
Oh,
I've
right.
just got
Too
to
late. We've
confess
been
at this point,
busted.
haven't I? Hopefully she's disappeared and gone to do some work because I told her to. These are fabulous. They are available straight away, which I know is not normal half-metre heaven behaviour, but we just thought, why not?
Yes.
Hmm.
I think some of them are still available, aren't they, by the half metre?
Yes.
There's a few that are just a little bit.
So I have loaded them and I've separated out and I've put the cut to order up as well so that you've got that available to you. We also have a little fat quarter trio there, Jane,
Yes.
which was a Friday deal that sold out super quick. Like, I think it was sold out by 10:30.
Yeah.
I've reloaded the stock into that so that there are more units available. If you missed out on this fat quarter trio, it will make a gorgeous infinity scarf or will just be great for any of your little Christmas
Yeah, little
makes.
Christmas makes, purses, little
yeah.
products that you can make, little stockings, things like that. Lovely.
But perhaps we should have a look.
It's gorgeous.
While I'm gabbing on, that's not helpful. People can't see it, can they?
So this is the
Sure, not
trio. This has got dancing reindeer. Look at that. And then
I
there's
love this.
a pin dot gold on charcoal, which goes nicely. And then the gold snowflakes and stars on charcoal
Beautiful.
as well. So it's not black, it's a very dark grey charcoal colour, which is lovely because it's softer. I think sometimes black can be a bit harsh, can't it?
For
Particularly if you're
Christmas,
wearing it
yeah.
as a trio.
But it's
as
lovely
an
this, 'cause you
infinity
get a
scarf.
softness here. So it's not, because again, gold, some people don't want to wear too much gold. It can be quite brassy or whatever else.
Yeah.
But this is lovely.
Lovely and subtle.
Do we close up them, Jane? Do you have a
Why
little-
not? Let's do
little
the
peep?
reindeer up close up
Let's
because
do
they're
that.
just really cute. They've got scarves on.
Oh, look.
Bring it closer.
Take it away a little, and then all of a sudden it'll decide it's going to...
There it is. Come back this way.
Oh, come on now, camera. Wakey, wakey.
You need to come back a bit. There we are. Boom.
There it is. Look at
And
them.
there's the scarves,
They're adorable, aren't they?
aren't they?
Really, really lovely.
The pin dot is quite straightforward. It's a very, very fine, irregular dot. Gold
It's a
metallic.
fabulous blender, isn't it?
It's lovely. Gives the feel of gold, but it's not too harsh. No, not hard.
Goes perfectly with that.
And then the
Reindeer
snowflake.
fabric.
Look at that, that's lovely. And that's got a lovely, the metallic's got a lovely shimmer to it.
I really like these for table dressings as well, Jane.
They'd
You
make
know,
great
if you had-
napkins, wouldn't
yeah,
they?
napkins or the napkin cutlery rolls as well. That'd
Yeah.
be really great. Or some placemats for your Christmas table.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Really, really lovely.
So that's our fat quarter trio. Did you say you'd loaded a few more of those?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, I have. I thought it was only fair, being as there were quite a few of you who missed out on that deal. Karen says, "Go ape! What were you thinking, you crazy fool?" I was thinking my 18-year-old would be disappointed and sad because she was not able to go and it was paid for and it cost a fortune. But to be fair, I did mostly sit and watch her. I did the one course that's supposed to be the easiest one and I did the zip wires. I love a zip wire, Jane.
It's good fun.
Yes.
Makes you giggle.
I'm not going to lie, I slept a lot. the rest of that day and the next day I was pretty much unconscious, but it was all in the name of fun, so it was fine.
So these are the half-metre heavens.
Oh, Lord.
And we've got the dancing, jumping, leaping reindeer. And we've put that with our Hawaiian because it just picks up this blue in this little reindeer scarf here. We could have put it with red or green, but we decided the blue was just nice with the grey charcoal colour. It just picked it up really nicely.
Really, really cute. Love it.
Bit of a modern twist. So you could make a nice bag with that, couldn't you? Or stocking, line it with the blue.
Good.
So that's the reindeer. And this is really lovely. This is skaters. Literally called
Jane
skaters.
Gray says, sorry Jane, Jane Gray says that last one reminds her of Baby Sham. She's right.
Yes, it does. It does look like the Baby Sham deer.
It does.
So this is skaters, and this is on a lovely turquoisey colour. So we've put it with our Baltic because it just so happens it matches the chap's, well, it's a girl actually, she's got a ponytail, might be a chap actually, coat, and this little girl's mittens and leggings.
Really lovely.
So that really picks up the turquoises in that.
This has
nice
to be
modern colourway.
The most Natasha makes Christmas fabric we've ever had. On brand colouring and everything.
Yeah. It's got metallic gold snowflakes on this fabric.
Yeah.
Just little tiny. Should we go close up on this
I
one?
like this one, Jane, because you could start wearing this, you know, October onwards, really.
Yeah, it's a winter. It's a winter
Yeah, it
fabric,
really
isn't
is.
it? So
it's Christmassy enough.
Let's
but
come
without
back
being so
just a
overtly
fraction.
Christmassy.
There we are. That just crisps it up a bit.
Yeah, you could wear that, you know, through January, February, March, whenever it's still chilly, and it would still be fine.
So that's the fun, isn't it? Yeah. Nice fun.
Love it.
Now we've gone a little bit classical here. We've got this beautiful poinsettia fabric. This is poinsettia on green, dark green.
This is a macawa as well.
This is a beautiful deep green colour. It's got metallic highlights around the poinsettias and the berries, and little gold stars in the background, pin dots.
Yes.
Mistletoe on there, holly berries, poinsettias, and we've put it with the bottle green, which just complements the deeper green in the back here in the background, so really makes the red poinsettias pop.
Jane, this is from the same collection as a lot of the fabrics that are in today's tree skirt.
Yeah, festive foliage.
Yes, it's a different colourway to the poinsettia fabric that's in your tree skirt. So if you wanted a fabric that was, you know, same but different,
yes,
this is your one.
And we were playing with this, and I said, do you know what? I think that the natural seeded would look rather nice with this as well, because it just picks up these berries. So it gives it a nice, sort of lifts it slightly.
Lovely.
But then with the bottle and the natural seeded and the poinsettias, you could make a rather nice quilt with
Or a
that.
table runner.
Yeah.
Stunning table runner.
Absolutely.
And you could use the instructions from today's make to sort of, you know, shenanigate and make something
Yes,
similar. And
absolutely.
make a nice table centre. Or
Absolutely.
I'd love to see what people can make with these. Gorgeous. Chris Cresswell's with us. She says, morning Jane and morning Gemma. How are the kittens, Jane?
Oh, living the life of Riley.
They are, aren't they?
Just, you know.
I saw Bobbin. Literally just looked suspended in mid-air, lay on that cushion the other day.
Oh, that's Fred. That's Fred. Fred's the tabby.
Oh.
Bobbin's the grey one. Because we had Bobbin first, and we weren't sure whether she was a girl or a boy. So we called her Bobbin because that's sort of a neutrally name, and it went with me.
Yes.
And then we had Fred, her brother, who's quite obviously a boy.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was the one that was snugged up to the cushion with his legs hanging over the eggs. Yeah,
like,
he just lies on his
straight
back
out.
and just
He's so cute.
lets himself go.
So cute. She also says that she'll be at Festival of Quilts on Thursday. Be nice to see people. Please do come up and say hello if you see us. We do like to say hello.
Oh yes, we love to see what you've bought as well. Love a gossip.
Yeah. Just
Oh, what's in your bag?
Come up and introduce yourselves.
So this is London Christmas, and this fabric's called Icons.
Beautiful.
And it's got your Coldstream Guards in his Sentry box. It's got reindeer and teddy bears, London bus, phone box, post box, Santa's sleigh, Christmas shopping, London cab with the shopping on the top. So there's lots going on in there. It's quite good fun. And then we've put that with our scarlet. Do you want to go close up on that one, Gemma, as well? Because there's loads on there.
I just noticed, Jane,
Mm-hmm.
for reasons I do not understand why, that today's kit is hiding from everybody.
Well, that's very naughty of it.
No, I can't seem.
And we've got gold metallic highlights on the snowflakes here, around the labels. The guards are outlined. So it's got a nice metallic running through that as well. Gives it a Christmassy, even more of a Christmassy feel.
I love that fabric. I think it's great. You've got so much going on in there. I'm going to say, everybody, if you reload the page now, in theory, she says, famous last words, that kit should show.
While you're still close up, I'm going to pick with the doggies. Yappy Christmas.
Yappy Christmas.
If you've got pets and you like to make them gifts, make them a little stocking with this.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Adorable.
There's your little Susie on there, look, Gemma.
I know.
Yeah, down. This one.
Yeah.
There she is.
There she is. Naughty Susie.
That one looks a little bit like my Daisy.
Oh. It's nice to spot them, isn't it? And say, this one looks like mine. Maybe you're looking at home and thinking, that one looks like mine. The white, shaggy one. The one that looks like a Westie.
Westie,
yeah.
here.
That one looks like my father-in-law's dog.
Oh, I love a Westie.
Yeah. Oh, she's lovely as well, Millie. She's a good girl. Not like my two.
Your two are lovely.
Not like my two. My two are
They're lovely. And we've put that with apple just to pull this lovely... Oh, we're still...
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just pressing the button, look.
Yeah, pressing it.
There we go. Press it
We
twice.
put it with our apple. It just brings up the zingy sort of limey green that's in the fabric. Just that nice little highlight. But there's a nice pink in there as well that you could pull out if you wanted to. We did sort of play with putting azalea with it, but I think it wasn't quite right, was it? It didn't quite go.
No.
We like to try and match one of the colours in the fabric so that you've got a good complementary colour with it. That's a nice modern.
Sorry, Jane, I'm doing this whole techie thing here. My little brain's clunking really loudly. If anyone can hear it. So, Roge, if you are listening, it had changed the scheduled time of that there product going live. And I've deleted the scheduling so it goes live straight away, but it's not behaving. You might have a little look at it for me, please, my sweet. Jane, the kit, however, in the meantime, this will be live in a moment. This bundle is fabulous.
Yes.
You've got fabric here to make your tree skirt top and your binding.
Yes. You'll need backing and wadding.
You will. I think we decided it was 3 metres of standard width fabric for your backing.
Yeah, I think, yes, 3 metres.
A 1.4 metre or 50-inch square of your chosen wadding.
56-inch square,
or 56-inch square.
Yeah.
There we go.
So if you bought
lovely,
1.5 metres of our wadding, you'd have plenty, and 3 metres of any fabric, really. If you wanted to buy our extra wide calico, because let's face it, if you're going to use it as a table covering or around your skirt, you're not really going to be showing the other side of it. No. So our extra wide calico, 1.5 metres of that would do you.
Perfect. Perfect, because like you say, if it's not on show, it's not on show, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's lovely. And this kit, Jane, has got lots in it. You know, this is a really good kit. You've got lots of different
plenty of fabric in there.
And we've done an absolutely bonkers deal on this today. So this particular kit, because we're doing an introductory offer on it, we've managed to get a nice little deal as we put it all together. We're passing that discount on to you. We have got £15 off the kit today. This comes in, I know, at a very good price. It is just for today, and we have a very limited number of kits. I am shenanigating with this and getting quite cross with it, so I shall let you talk through the fabrics, Jane. And hopefully at some point everyone will be able to see it on the website. Yeah.
We've got our fabrics labelled from A through to J. We haven't got K because that's the backing fabric. This is a pattern by Lynn Goldsworthy. So
Yeah.
The quantities are determined by her according to her pattern. We're putting this in with the kit because it's a free downloadable pattern from Macawa. So you get, with this, you get this lovely holly trail Macawa fabric. It's a cream with a gold holly. Are we able to go close up, Gemma?
Of course we can. It's like this message starting for that. There's SJ.
Yeah.
Starts with please help.
Help me. So you can see that it's got a beautiful sheen to it. Just see how the light catches that. Lovely holly leaves. That's a beautiful blender. And there's 3/4 metre of that piece. Then we've got, we'll go from A to G. So we've got our lovely red pin dot.
Yes.
Let's come down.
It's really
come
lovely
this
that,
way,
isn't it?
That way. That's it. No, this way. Just have to remember it's back to front to the way we see it on the screen. So that's fabric A. Fabric B is this lovely cream with gold stars. And again, the metallic on there has got a lovely sheen to it. Really, I love Macawa's fabric. The base cloth is lovely. It's really good quality cotton. Now this one, Gemma and I, this is an alternative to what was in the original pattern. And Gemma and I chose this and we were like, yes, we've got to have robins. It's gorgeous. And it is so cute. Look at that. Can you see those robins on there?
This fabric is
Robins and holly leaves.
Favourite. So we should have had a slightly more demure fabric than this in the mix.
I think in there it was like a mistletoe berry one.
Yeah.
But we thought this had it complements. It's
Berry.
from the same collection.
Yeah.
We weren't able to get some of the fabrics, you see, so we had to do some alternatives.
We did, and I say it's
This
an
is a
upgrade.
lovely alternative, one that you'll adore when you see it. Still doesn't come across properly on camera. They are just the cutest little robins. They're highlighted with gold metallic. The holly leaves and berries are gold metallic, and then there's little gold stars in the background on a lovely cream. And the cream itself...
Jane, sorry. Ta-da!
Ah, yay, she
Kit's
fixed
live, everybody.
it. She fixed it.
Okay.
And then we've got red with the gold metallic stars. So that's pretty. Again, this gold metallic has got a beautiful sheen to it. And then if you saw the poinsettias with the bottle, we've got it on cream.
Beautiful.
So again, that's got a lovely gold highlight to it. Little tiny gold pin dot on the cream in the background, as well as some stars. Really subtle, really pretty.
I've put as many of these fabrics up cut to order as I possibly can because I'm very aware that the kit is superb value.
This is called foliage
Some
scatter.
of you will want to be able to make items to go with.
Yeah,
And
napkins
I absolutely
and
want to give you the chance to do that.
pillows,
imagine
cushions
saying,
and things.
Christmas sacks as well. and
Yeah,
stockings to match, all of that. So we have got these fabrics up, but they are what we have. That is it.
so this is foliage. This is on red. It's got mistletoe, holly leaves, ivy, all sorts of things going on there.
Beautiful.
Gold metallic and all of these running through all of the fabrics.
I love them, Jane. They're so
This is
timeless, aren't they?
Yeah, this is a holly leaf on cream with the red berries and gold metallic again.
Beautiful.
Lots of that as shimmers. And then we've got the alternate colourway of that, which is the deep green. Complements.
Fabulous.
So that's on a lovely deep green.
And I like that print. It's ever so slightly denser than the one in the sample behind us, Jane.
Yes,
But somehow
it works.
It does, doesn't it?
works. Yeah,
it does.
all works.
And
So
this is what you've made your sample pieces in. So
yes,
The one
so you'll
behind
get
us
to
is
see
the
how
original,
it looks.
But you'll get to
and-
see from Jane's pieces how it makes up.
Gemma's had a little shenanigate with the table, so she's put exactly which fabric we've applied to which area. So it's easy to see which
Shall
one
we
we're
go
thinking
overhead?
goes where.
So the instructions that you get are free and are part of the kit. We've printed you a copy, but not only have we done that, I've edited the original file from Macawa with their permission to
You've
put
just
in
got the fabrics.
all of our fabrics that we've chosen. So you've got the name of the fabric, the colourway, the code and the quantity, so that you can see very easily which fabric we've signed to be fabric A, fabric B, C, D, etc. And so it'll just make it really straightforward when you come to make it.
Yeah. So your pattern has all your cutting instructions here on the table. You've got your what the letter is for the coding. You've got the type of fabric it is and the fabric code and the amount that we've put into the kits. Obviously, as I said, we've got to put the backing in. That's for you to provide, but we've provided everything, including the binding. And then it tells you here what to cut from each piece. You've got all your instructions here of how it goes together, with diagrams as well that show you how it's put together. And then you've got all your template pattern pieces on the back. Now, I would suggest that you then, if you're able to, photocopy these so that you've got the originals with your pattern for future use, should you wish to make more, make them for friends or make them with different fabrics for another year. But your template plastic, if you get template plastic, you could make it with that. This A1, A2, A3 and A4, they need to be put together to make a larger piece, which is why I think you'd probably be better photocopying it, because obviously it's back to back on here. But you could trace that onto greaseproof paper or something like that.
Tracing it off, for sure.
So you will have all your fabrics, you'll get your fabrics, you'll do your kit, and then you will label your fabrics so that you know which one's which. And all of the fabrics for the main body of the star, apart from fabric G, which is the metallic holly, are all cut at 2.5 inch wide width of strips.
Nice.
I've put all my stuff under here, Gemma, and I don't know which way I put it round.
I didn't move it, Jane.
No, of course you didn't.
I did look because I thought, ooh, I could get some nice pictures of all those things, and then I thought, I'm not touching it, I'm not moving it.
So we've got
quite a few lovely bits.
A, B, C, D, E and F, and then G is just slightly wider.
So Jane, for these strips, may I be so bold as to suggest a stripology would be your bestest best friend?
It would. You'll get these cut in no time then.
Marvellous, and accurately too.
Yes.
If you've not owned a stripology before, then crikey bobs, you do not know what you are missing. Once you've invested in one,
I think Natasha's taken hers with her.
For a moment. Yes, or did we tidy it away,
No, I
Jane?
didn't tidy that.
No, I think Natasha has taken the stripology. But it is the most fabulous piece of kit. It is a wonderful creative grid. You will see that it's in today's collection right next to the kit. It's a big plastic grid with slots in that you can put your rotary cutter blade into, and then you just slide it up. And there's markers across the bottom with different, like there's a star and a square, isn't there,
yes,
to tell you what increments you're cutting at. So if you find the correct increment, it's really easy just to follow. Say it's stars, you just cut at every slot that has a star, then you know you're cutting at the same increment all the way along. But you also then aren't risking your rotary cutter wobbling and going off at an angle. You know, the ruler's got a non-slip back, so if you're pressing down nice and firmly, it is engaged on your fabric. It's not going to slip.
I mean, it's created by Creative Grids, so it's all the usual Creative Grids anti-slip notches on the back, and then with the channel to run the rotary cutter through, it's foolproof, really. You're really going to get accurate fabric every time with your cutting.
Some of you are really proficient with a ruler, and really confident. The thing that stopped me from quilting when I first started, or sewing in general actually, was the cutting out. Because I'd be so afraid of making a mess of my fabric. And the stripology, I always think it's a bit like going bowling with the bumpers up, Jane. It just,
makes
you've got
sense,
that security there. But with a ruler, I was very capable of running my blade up and then skidding off still at an angle.
Yeah.
Whereas when you've got these slots, it just keeps it straight, and it's so quick.
Yes.
So quick.
So once you've cut all your strips, as per the instructions, you're going to put them together in strip sets. And you start off with all of the strips. So you have A, B, and C, so on, until you've got all of them. Now when you put them together, you offset them by about 2 inches. Now I go from the selvage 2 inches, so you can see that. So, and you put them right sides together and you sew down there.
Lovely.
But you're just offsetting them because you're then going to cut them at a 45-degree angle, which I'll go into in a minute.
Ah, that makes sense.
So you do one strip set that's all of them. So A, B, C, D, oops, E. And what I like to do is I like to keep all the sandwiches on the one side so I know which side I'm working from. As I said, I sew them together in pairs and then I sew the pairs together and then sew those pairs together. It makes life easier and it prevents your strips from bowing. Because if you go one on top of the other, they can bow. And if I sew these two strips together this way and those two strips together that way, when I come to join these two, I'll start at this end. And again, that prevents your fabric bowing as well. I don't know why it bows, but it can. It doesn't always do it, but sometimes it does. I would treat your fabric with your best press flatter starch because you're going to be cutting it at a 45-degree angle ultimately, and so you've got a lot of biased edges going on. So once you've got that strip set together, you're then going to make another strip set and it has just those colours. And then another one which has just those, and another one which has just those, and that one, and that one. And then you're just going to have your strip with this, your holly trial on, and you're just going to cut 2.5 inch 45-degree wedges with that.
Brilliant.
So you make 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, one of which is just going to be your holly trail. Just those strip sets. So you will have all these strip sets. And I think I'm actually one missing when I come to look at my things because I didn't quite take enough fabric with me when I was doing my prep.
We also have to do this, Jane. It's just tradition now. And Christmas is all about traditions, Jane.
Yes. So you can see...
ones you're not particularly pleased about.
You can see here, this is my strip set with all the strips in. And I've cut this at a 45-degree angle. Perfect. Now, if we can use our imagination, your strip set to start with will look like this, but it'll obviously be longer and it'll be the same on the other end. To get your 45-degree angle, you've got a 45-degree line on your ruler here.
Yeah.
Line this up with one of your seams. Let's take it up to that one there because then I've got making sure that I've got my ruler above it and below it. Now, you know what I'm like, and again you can use your Stripology for this, so this will help you, but I'm going to turn my fabric so that my 45, when I'm cutting, I'm going to be cutting straight away from myself, because you know what I'm like, I get a bit like, what are they doing cutting it like that? Now just play with your ruler and your 45-degree line until you're absolutely sure you've got all of your fabric underneath that ruler, because I can be looking at this line here and thinking, oh right, well I can go right down here because I can just, you know, I can be frugal with my fabric and that gets all of that there, but if you can see what's happened down here, I'm not going to get my strip. No. So just move your ruler up until your 45-degree line is still straight with your seam, but you've got all of your fabric underneath your ruler, and you've got a bit of your ruler above and a bit of your ruler below to cut against.
Great.
Because when you're cutting fabric, you don't want to be starting cutting on your fabric, because if you do that, you won't cut into your fabric initially with your rotary cutter, and you want to go past it again so that you get a nice clean cut. Now, hold your hand firmly on your ruler. You've got grippy pads on the rotary cutter. If you've got a ruler that doesn't have grippy pads, start at the bottom here. Hold your ruler, cut up to there, and walk your hand up the ruler, not moving your rotary cutter.
It's a spider, Jane.
Yeah, and that will hold your ruler and stop it moving. Before you move your ruler, just move your fabric to make sure it has cut through. If it hasn't cut through, you need to change your rotary blade.
Yes. Because
your rotary blade should be able to cut through a single layer of fabric in one go without catching threads.
Yeah.
So once you've got that 45-degree line, you're then going to cut those strips into 2.5 inch wide pieces. And again, I line up my 45-degree line on one of my seams, line up my 2.5, because with your Creative Grids ruler you've got your half mark here, so it tells you, in the black circle there, it tells me that's 2.5. I love Creative Grids because they really are, everything is on the ruler to help you see instantly where you are and what you need to be. So once you're happy that you're straight with that, you then cut that into strips, and you do that with each of your strip set. So you've got one of each. You're going to cut 4 from each segment. You're going to do this twice. You're going to make your strip sets. You're going to make 2 lots of each.
Okay.
And then you're going to cut 4 from each one.
Nice. Claire Angelina's joined us. She says, "Oh, I do love a strip set. There's something really satisfying about it, isn't there?
Yes,
Look
there
at
is.
that now. Beautiful."
So you will have. I've got lots of Blue Peters today, Gemma.
It's one I made earlier.
Yeah.
Several times.
You will have your strip sets like so.
I do love it when we get a sample in that's ready-made. And we say, "Jane, you've not got a lot to prep before the show." And then she basically makes the whole thing again. Just, because I have to show everyone everything, Gemma.
Yeah. So you've got your strip sets and you're now going to put these together.
Lovely. Oh, look.
No, sorry, I've got this the wrong way. Boop, that way. You need to make sure that each time that you're putting them together.
Oh, it's so clever. Look at it.
Can you see how it creates this
Yeah.
diamond?
I can.
Oops, that's upside down.
So it's just taking a moment to make sure you've got all your bits and bobs present, correct, and in the right order.
It makes that arrow shape. I'll move all of that up. You can see all of that. Now, as I said,
I might move your whole map this way a little bit, just so that we can show everybody
it's just
what the edge looks like. There we are.
there we are. And that one there. Now, when you come to join your strips together, you might be inclined to think, oh, right, I'll line that up. I'll put those together. That's it. Line that seam up with that seam.
Yeah.
That's how I need to do it.
Would I have done it wrong, Jane?
If you do that, I'm going to pin it now and show you what would happen if you line up those.
I kind of get it, but I think I would have done that.
I think we all do it without realising, because we're so, that's how our mindset is when we're piecing, is we put the seams together and we sew.
It's not right though, is it, Jane?
No, because what happens is, if you do that, you're going to get that. It's going to be offset.
No, you'd make a right old pig's ear of
And
it.
you'd be really upset by that, because you'd be like, oh no, what am I doing wrong?
Oh, I'd say something really offensive if I did that, Jane.
So what you need to do is you need to offset your seams by 1/4 inch.
Oh, okay.
Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. You can make sure when you're pressing that you've got your seams pressed one way and the other way. Now, I've done that on this, but they're facing the wrong direction, in which case you've got your seam allowance. So if you've got your 2 seams on top of each other, you know that you've got that distance.
Okay.
But what you can do, you can get your ruler and you can make a little mark, if that helps you, where your 1/4 inch is. But also,
the mark is 1/4 inch from where, Jane? From your sewn line?
from your cut edge there.
Cut edge. Oh, I see here. Yeah.
So you can make that little mark there,
Got you.
lining it up with your cut edge there, so you can make a little mark, and then you'll know.
Yeah.
Place your pin in that 1/4 inch mark, and then place the pin in the opposite seam, lining up your edges. Can we go close up on this, Jim?
Yeah, of course we can. I'm like hypnotised by this, Jane.
So 1/4 inch down from this cut edge on the top one, and then we've gone into the seam 1/4 inch down on the
Got you.
strip behind.
So you're still matching your seams, you're just matching them a 1/4 inch in.
down. So it's called offsetting your seam.
Sounds so obvious when you show us, Jane.
Pop your pin in along your seam. Now again, when you're doing this, just be careful that you don't stretch your fabric, because it's very easy, because it's all a biased edge. You know me, I don't pin very often, but with this sort of thing, you need to pin, really,
Sometimes
to be accurate.
You need to take that moment, don't you?
Yeah, you just take a little bit longer to do something, because it's going to save you time in the long run.
Yeah. Susan Moore's joined us. She says, beautiful fabrics, Christmas in July. And it is.
Just.
It's only just because it's August tomorrow, so we don't feel too rogue. But we do need to start early on these Christmas makes, Jane. You know,
Yes.
you want to make this and have it ready so that you can enjoy the festive season. But also, when it's made, you know you're going to say, well, I'm dead pleased with that, but I now want X, Y, and Z to match it.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I went into
Sorry,
the
I
other
was going
I went into the screen.
So you can see here, I've got 1/4 inch overhang from my strip underneath there.
Yeah.
And again, well, it's a bit bigger because we've got a longer strip here. So don't worry, because you'll say, well, I've got a great big long piece there. That's okay. So just going to sew that now together with the 1/4 inch seam. Use a 1/4 inch seam throughout the process. Pins.
And Jane, obviously you're going to have some bits that you're cutting off that are sewn together.
Yes.
I think I'd be really inclined to use those in a PK project and things.
Yeah, because you're going to have, I mean, that end piece that I cut off on mine, that's a nice little bit of strip
see?
there. You've got quite a lot of bits there.
You have.
You know, you can use those in other things.
Or use it as a trim on something.
Yeah,
There's
on the
always
edge on
ways and means, aren't
On
there?
a quilt or something. Yeah, there's lots of little bits left over that you can use in other projects.
Oh, Debbie says, morning ladies, a little late today, but I'm here. My knobs arrived this morning. I love them. Thank you. I mean, anyone who's
I'm a
watching
little bit
that and has
out
no idea.
on here. These ones here
Okay.
and here have matched up beautifully, but I needed to take a little bit more time in matching up my seams.
That's okay.
But you can see now, by offsetting that, you can see how the diamonds come together quite nicely.
Really nice.
And your seams match up better. So you're going to join all of those, and again I would join them in pairs and then join the pairs together, and you will end up with
Da, 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 da. You have been busy, lady.
a piece that looks like this.
Oh, isn't that look gorgeous? So this is our colourway.
Yes.
Okay, now.
So this is how, this is
how I've got our
up to, if we can go to the main picture,
Yeah,
Gemma,
of
I can show you where it
course.
goes up to.
Sure.
This part here goes up to this
Yeah.
edge here. So we then create another
So that's from the
edge to
centre
go
out
round. Yeah,
we've got
so
there.
we've got from there to there.
Up to that bound bit there.
Yeah,
And the binding it does come in your kit as well. We've
yes.
got that stripy
The
binding.
beautiful stripy fabric.
Yes.
So you're going to make 8 of these segments because we cut four pieces from each of our sets.
Mm-hmm.
And we did 2 sets. You're then going to make your pattern together.
Oh, I see. When you're saying you've got to stick bits together, I thought this all sounds a bit complicated, but it's not.
So
really,
we've got
is it?
A1, A2, A3 and
There
A4,
we
which are part of
are.
your pattern. You make those, you put them together, and that's why I think you'd be better off, rather than trying to put it together with template plastic, which you can do. You can stick your template plastic together and you've got a real permanent one. Just make it into a pattern piece,
Yeah, nice
photocopy it,
Mm-hmm. Or trace it out.
trace it out
Like you would with a
onto
pattern. Mhm.
greaseproof paper or baking parchment or something like that. You're then going to cut this bit off, trim it off.
Okay.
Now, if you feel safe with your rotary cutter,
Oh.
you can cut it like that.
This is what
I
Jane
would
wants us to
not.
bitch about.
I would not do that. I would get my fabric marker, and I didn't bring my fabric marker in with
That's
me.
all right. We have some. We have pens floating around.
Have we got any in that? No, I don't think we have we? I would trace it along here. Now I can see this white marker, so I'm not too worried about it. Now you've got points of reference on here.
A little bit just here.
Yeah, just keeping it. You will pin this, obviously, when
Yes.
you're doing it at home. You're going to pin it to your
You won't do a chain.
segment, making sure that it's level and everything's matched up. But you're going to, I would trace it with my fabric marker, whichever one I like to use best. It won't matter because we're going to cut on the line. You've got matching up points here and here on the red. Now if it were me, I would do like a notch like a dressmaker's type notch. Just cut into that so I can see it. You could make a hole in your pattern and use your fabric marker to go through it, so you've got the dot there. It's just a point of reference. You could leave your pattern pinned on and you could just cut round your pattern like you would if you were dressmaking.
Taking care not to cut your paper.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't want to do that with our fabric scissors.
And you will end up with all your segments with that slight curve on them, like so. And then you're going to join the segments together to create a circle.
Okay.
Again, I would do it in pairs. I would sew 2 of my segments together.
How neat it looks.
To make a quarter.
Yeah.
And then to make 2 halves, and then to make a whole.
Okay.
So you've got a complete circle.
Beautiful.
And then you've got templates in your pattern for the border edge. Now I've put my templates onto cardboard. You could trace them onto template plastic, and I would recommend template plastic really.
Yeah. And we do have that tagged in today's collection, so very inexpensive. You will use it for all sorts of projects. It's the one product we can guarantee we need to order every single time we place an order with that supplier, isn't it, Jane?
Yeah.
Because we get through so much. It's just something that...
It's one of our constants.
Once you guys start using it and you realise just how brilliant it is to make those permanent templates, you just keep buying it from us, so thank you.
So Lynn tells you the width
of
strips you need in your instructions for your 2 border pieces, which is the poinsettia on the cream.
Lovely.
And the dark holly. Template C, you place on there. Now I found that I could line it up on my strip and cut 2 at a time.
Yes.
Again, I drew around my template and then cut it. I cut the straight edge with my rotary cutter by putting my rotary cutter on the drawn line, and then I cut the curve with scissors. Now when you come to put this on here, when you come to do the other side, it'll go at a slight angle. Just make sure that you're within your seam allowance on your, well, within your fabric really, because it would be very easy to think, right, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, but it's a slightly wider triangle, and you've got that curved edge. So don't think, oh, I've done something wrong here because that's not lining up with the top edge. That's okay, because then your next one will come like that, and that'll go up that side. So I used a marker that I could see really well. I used my blue water erasable one because it's quite a vivid blue.
Good idea.
And it showed up really well. And the same with the H fabric, which is the lovely poinsettia. That one has got a curve that goes in. So when you come to do the other side there, just make sure it's lined up, because it will just dip down slightly, but just ensure that you're within your fabric.
Righto.
There's not much room for manoeuvre, but there is enough fabric.
Yeah.
And so you'll cut all these pieces out from your fabric, and you want the curved on the outside and the concaved piece on the inside. So when you put your triangles together, you're putting your pieces together like that and like that. So again, I sewed together my 2 pairs, lining them up. Now remember, your 1/4 inch offset. So just come up slightly on a 1/4 inch there. Sorry, no, come down. Sorry, line the top edge up, and then you'll be over on the edge here. But when you come to sew them, you've got to have that up there and that down there. And then that next one will go on, and you'll put it on and you'll think, oh, hang on. But don't forget you need your seam allowance.
Yeah.
So it's got, when you put it together,
Got these little nibbly bits.
You've got this bit down here, there's a 1/4 inch there where the points join, and you've got a 1/4 inch up here.
Yeah.
So this is your seam allowance. So don't think when you're joining them together you've done it wrong because your points don't come down here. You don't want them to.
No, you really don't.
You need, if you've got your points coming down here, you've made a mistake.
Yeah.
You need your 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Because otherwise, when you try to put that piece onto your other pieces, you're going to lose the points on all of your triangles, aren't you, Jane?
You're going to join this together to make a complete curve.
Yeah.
Now, we said, didn't we, about these points here, these notches, which are here and here.
It's like a dressmaking pattern, isn't it?
It is.
Little notches.
They line up with those points there
Oh, that's helpful.
on your pattern.
Great.
So you make the full centre circle, you make a full circle of this band, and then you join them together by matching up your notches and your seam allowance on these points.
Great.
Then when you've done that, and the instructions are all in here, you've got you're going to layer it up and quilt it. And Lynn's done just a meander on here. You don't need
Bear with, Jane.
much really.
Have a look.
It's quilted with just a nice meander in a cream thread, which just blends beautifully. You could just simply do straight lines.
Yeah, you could.
You know, following your zigzag here and your zigzag there. If you don't feel confident with your free motion meander, then she cut out, once it was quilted,
Oh, she cut that out
she cut the
afterwards.
hole there and followed one of the seams
So
down.
you really can just follow the whole process to make, say, a mat if you
Yeah,
wanted to.
if you did it all
because
before the
that's what you do.
binding,
Yeah.
you don't have to cut the hole out
No.
and down there. You can just bind round the edge.
Oh, I like that. I
And
like
it's
it.
it's a wide enough circle that you don't have to cut your bias on your binding on the bias.
Sure.
It'll still go round. It's still got that little bit of give in it, so it'll
Nice.
go round without puckering up too much.
Great.
But you might want to cut just that bit
Yeah.
on the bias
Yeah. No, that would be
to
sensible.
get it in. But in the instructions, she doesn't say anything about cutting your binding on the bias.
It's beautiful, Jane. Can we take the wedge that you've got there and just lay it onto the...
Yeah,
so
of
we can
course.
show everyone. Because I think where we've replaced that white fabric and the robin, I actually prefer it because you've got a fresh white slice through the row where the stars are.
So that
And
comes
you've got
there.
a little more green with the red in towards the centre there, which again I just think it just pops it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But at the time this was made, the robin didn't exist. The
No.
robin's a more recent fabric
But
that we've managed to source.
Looking at
from.
that from the wide camera angle,
Yeah.
you can't really see any difference,
No.
can you, in that? And the same with the border.
But it does look fresher.
The holly
Yes.
is slightly denser than the
It
pattern
is.
that's already there. But other than that, because this fabric is the same.
But again, I prefer that holly there because it's denser, but it's also got some light green through it as
Yeah.
well, which just lifts it a little bit. So you can see it's
Yeah.
very, very similar. If you made these two, you're not going to look at the new one and say, oh, that's different to the other one. You just
No.
wouldn't. But because the overall effect is going to be the same, but it is, go overhead and have a little peep. It's a lovely, fresh take on it.
It doesn't.
And
It
it has the
doesn't.
robins.
This
Which we
robin,
love.
we love this robin fabric. This robin
Me
fabric
too.
is delicious.
The rest will be coming home with myself and Jane, I think.
So you don't make it in segments. You make the whole middle piece, and then you make the
Right.
border in a complete
I
circle
really
and
wasn't
add that on.
expecting that, Jane.
No.
No, I wasn't expecting
It's
that.
a
but-
lovely construction of it. So
Yeah.
when you get to this stage, you can think, well, actually, I'm not going to make it into a tree skirt.
No.
I'm just going to have it, like you said, as a mat
As a
for the
mat.
baby to play on, or something
Yeah.
like that, or a table centre. If you got a round table at Christmas, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
You could have it as a mat for the baby to play on, and then after Christmas, cut it and turn it back into a tree skirt
Yeah.
for future years, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
You know, it could be a dual-purpose item. But what an impressive-looking thing for something that actually, so long as you follow the instructions that you've just given and the instructions that you get for free in your kit, it's not the most complicated thing you'll ever make
No, you could make this in a weekend.
by any stretch.
Yeah, you could. You could make this in a weekend. It's not, and if you've got your stripology ruler, it's going to make you cutting really quick.
That's probably the bit that's going to take your time, isn't
Yeah.
it? Cutting all your strips and getting everything organised. And
And I'm pretty sure, I don't want to swear to it, but I'm pretty sure you can do your 45 degree with your stripology.
Ooh, but we haven't got it to
I
hand.
haven't
because
got it,
Natasha's
but I'm
taking it
sure.
round to Cornwall.
But
I love my stripology. I think it's just an
it
absolute
just saves so much
godsend.
time.
Yeah.
Quick and accurate, which is what we love. Because we want to get on with the sewing bit and making something,
Yeah.
don't we?
We totally do. We totally do. Jane, thank you so much. That's been lovely to watch. It's great. I love it.
I love it. It's beautiful fabrics.
It really
It's going to be the sort of thing, once you've made it, you'll bring it out Christmas after Christmas, because it's classic. It's Christmas foliage. it's timeless.
It's brilliant, and I really like the stripe binding. Maybe we can get the stripy fabric and just show it with the pieces that you've made on the overhead, just so that everyone can see that.
This stripy binding has got a gold metallic running through it as well, so it pulls in all the gold metallics that are there. So
what
you'll
I really
have
like
that.
about it, Jane, as well, is there's a smidgy tiny bit of a tealy blue. Now, my lounge is a tealy blue lounge, so ordinarily when I try and introduce, you know, red and green Christmas items, they just clash horribly.
Yeah.
But you have this blue in this binding that to me would just tie it all together then.
Well, the thing is, with this,
there.
the blue in here, it's a bluey green. It's that real fur bluey green. So the teal doesn't look out of place at all.
It doesn't, but it just means that it makes
Just
it that
pulls
bit more
it in.
flexible.
Yeah.
You've got lots of different colours in that stripe binding, and we felt it was totally essential to the kit that we get that binding in for you. It's not the easiest to source, but we've managed to get it. It's just lovely. And I think...
Just finishes it off nicely. I think
Yeah,
if we tried to use a plain or something like that, it wouldn't enhance it as much as the stripe does. I mean, I love I love a stripy binding anyway.
We're
a sucker for a stripy
horrors
binding.
for a stripy binding, we
But,
really are.
You know, I'm quite happy to use a plain if I feel it gives it a really good, like, full stop, finishes it nicely.
Yeah.
But I really think that the stripe in this is helps to make it.
I agree. The stripy binding is just that little cherry on the top of the cake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they are beautiful, timeless fabrics, so they have that traditional quality to them. But at the same time, you have the little bit of stripe in there, and it just throws a little contemporary twist in there.
Absolutely.
It doesn't look old-fashioned or dated. No. They're very fresh background as well. These plain, the white background and the cream there. Yeah. It's very. They're not, because you get with some Christmas fabrics, they have an aged tone to them, which is absolutely fine, and that's potentially how it should be.
Yeah.
But if someone's got a very modern lounge,
it can this would not look out of place at all.
And this is very fresh, so I feel this would be really adaptable because you've got the traditional prints, but the nice freshness of the colours to go with. That mean it would look similarly beautiful in a traditional home or a modern home as well.
And the gold metallics just set it off beautifully.
Thanks for showing us this, Jane. It's been grand.
Yeah.
We've got a busy old week, I tell you. It's all going on this week, isn't it?
I'm so excited, Gemma.
I am super excited. Natasha is on her way.
I'm going to burst.
Natasha is on her way. She will be here tomorrow. She will be bringing you a new L-shaped purse and some other purse frame kits as well. Don't think I'm supposed to tell you that, but I have. So don't miss it, because you know how popular those kits are when they come around, and they don't come around that often. Also on her way is that there Lisa Chandler. So we're going to see Lisa tomorrow evening and get to meet her in person for the first time.
Properly. I've spoken to her on Zoom.
But actually in person we're going to get to meet her, which is great. And then on Wednesday morning she will be on your screens. She and Natasha are bringing you a new Lisa Chandler make.
Yeah.
Careful how I word this. And fabulous new Lisa Chandler fabrics. We couldn't be more excited if we tried. Then it's Festival of Quilts.
Yeah.
You've got Half Meets Heavens, you've got Friday Deals, you've got Festival of Quilts. It's all going on. And then a week's time, we start another week again, Jane.
Yeah, and we're back on Block of the Month, aren't we?
And we are. We're back on our Block of the Month. So if you are watching today's show thinking, well, hang on a minute, Block of the Month will be soon, next week is when we're going to do it.
I don't know. I'm on Monday or Wednesday next week. I'm not sure.
It's a very good question. I have it in that their organising system that I put stuff in and no one
We'll let
looks
you
at,
know,
Jane.
because SJ always lets you know on a Sunday what's happening.
I want to say, because I set up all your product pages the other day, I want to say it's Monday, but then we need to check with Natasha anyway, because she might have changed things. She likes to do that. You never
she
know.
may, yeah. That's fine, because we're all raring to go and
but
ready.
Next week will be Block of the Month, and it's Pumpkin Patch.
It is my favourite one, I think. There's a lot of them I love, but I think that's my favourite.
I do love that, mate. I really do. Our organiser's not going to let me open it right now, Jane, to be able to tell you which day on next week.
That doesn't matter.
Just a nice big
I'll be here
white
whichever
screen.
day. Doesn't matter.
Let's just double check that everyone's happy, they've got no questions, and that we haven't missed anything super important. I don't think we have. Debbie says, thank you, Gemma and Jane. Have a great day. Claire Angelina says, you two are like kids at Christmas. Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
I don't know. Here we go. Oh, Claire Angelina was having a problem with her machine, but then she's realised she hadn't lowered the button lever.
It's easily done.
We all make these mistakes. It's absolutely fine. Lynn said, greetings from Down Under. Nice to have you with us, Lynn. Oh yes, we've had lots of people chatting to us and saying beautiful fabrics, Christmas in July. Yes, yes, and yes.
Yes.
And yes, you're finding the kits, which is great. Those kits are very limited in number, and I can see they're flying out, which is unsurprising because they have got £15 off today. This kit should be $64.99, and we have it today only at $49.99.
Wow.
I can't hold a price like that ongoing, so it is a today situation. And then we'll just keep all the fabrics otherwise. I don't think we're going to get a chance, Jane. I really
I
don't.
I think you'll want them because they are gorgeous. They're sumptuous. It's Macawa fabric. It's a beautiful base cloth. Nice weight of cotton.
Yes.
Very
stable, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really lovely.
Yeah.
And the metallic is a lovely crisp metallic on there that's got a lovely shimmer to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Natasha will be back tomorrow with a brand new Natasha Makes pattern. Do remember, if you're an international viewer, we're very sorry we can't post you fabric kits over to the other side of the world, but you can support us by buying our patterns. We have a huge armoury of digital patterns, nearly all of which are backed up by video demos that you can watch back, and shows that go back for 3 years. We don't get paid for the shows. That content is all free, 3 days a week at least for you, but you can buy our patterns, and we really appreciate it when you do.
Absolutely.
We'll be back tomorrow.
We will.
Jane, we've got lots to do.
Yes, got kits to pack.
Got to go and roll the red carpet out for that there Lisa Chandler as well. Thank you for joining us. We will see you again soon. Take care, lots of love, and bye-bye.